Hey everyone, how are we doing today? We are back again with another edition of Moving Mad. Now we're going to start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, including Patreon, every single person that is a subscriber as we continue to grow. But also on top of that, I want to give a shout out to every single person that is reporting on this and everyone that is being respectful with their comments. Okay? Because this is a very triggering time for many people in different ways. Now in this video, I'm going to be playing devil's advocate because since I made the very first ever video, since then, some of the comments have started to change. Some of the comments have started to change based on information that I provided you that we have received from May. And those comments I'm going to read in a second. But also, not only have the comments started to change in the videos, but at the same time, I've started to receive messages on social media as well as emails where people giving me their opinion of why they are starting to not believe or have never believed May. So when I'm going to read the comments, and then once I read the comments, I'm going to let you guys know exactly what my thoughts are. I'm sorry, but May needs to get off YouTube and go forward with charges. Proving FB and naysayers wrong should be the least of her concern. In the real world, she's damaging her credibility, which is very true. She doesn't realize the more she says via leaked texts, Facebook messages, and her videos cause more questions than answers. We are not the people she needs to convince. Very true, because we are not the jury. Move on to the next one. I don't understand why anyone would want to visit a man that has gone to jail for someone and his own girlfriend. I use the term loosely, accuse him of DV. The cooking channel is new. The majority of what we know about him comes from Chantel's channel. May needs to write her story down so she'll remember it. Just stop making videos. She's losing credibility, sadly. And again, going back to the credibility, she's now losing it, which is why people are now starting to change their mind. But let's move on to the next one. If she had business in Canada, why didn't she even have a car rental planned? After she arrived at the airport, she was waiting for him on what to do next. She had plans for car rental or hotel. So she had no plans for car rental or hotel. I don't want to doubt anyone's story, but that doesn't add up. Moving on to the next one. A lot of what May is saying doesn't make sense. All three of them are lying. None of them should be discussing this on YouTube if they are generally involving the authorities. 100%, because if the authorities are involved, then going to a media source is not something that is advised. And then we're going to move on to the last comment here that I have here at hand. I would caution anyone from taking any side of the persons involved, which is why we're here today, here now, for me to play devil's advocate. And when I say devil's advocate, what I mean is every video that I made up till now has been in favor of May. This one may not necessarily be in favor of May, but the fact is though, it's not about whether we make videos in favor of May or not. The bottom line is that we make videos to make sure that justice is served correctly. Which brings me to my thoughts about the whole situation now, about how things are now starting to change, how people are now starting to speak up a bit more. And I'll say one more. I want to say one thing as well that I didn't actually screenshot. That was said to me via DMs. Someone said to me that if the alleged crimes happened around the 18th or on the 18th, Madzie, you didn't make your video until I think it was the 24th or 25th. I made my first video where I saw the screenshots of showing that Nadia had been speaking to these women. Since then, a lot of women came forward in the comment section of that video saying that yes, he's been speaking to me too, he's been bringing me as well. And May was even one of those people, and her comment, I believe, was something on the lines of, I know why Nadia doesn't do something with Foodie Booty. It's crazy because the reason why this is brought up is because when Justin uploaded a video not so long ago, she uploaded a video where it had screenshots of my comment section, and May was one of those comments. So people are also saying, why is it May only started to speak up about the alleged crime after you made your video, but your video was at least 5, 6, 7 days after the alleged crime. Within that timeline, she would have obviously made it back to the USA, and in that timeline would have been the timeline that she would have been then dealing with the authorities. But for some bizarre reason, instead of dealing with the authorities, within that timeline, she didn't do nothing. And then all of a sudden, she pops up after I made a video, because after I make a video, which then, and obviously after I made the video, obviously a lot of women started coming forward. And I understand that sometimes, and it's something that we cannot forget, sometimes some people need someone to lead first. Sometimes some people need someone to make actions first before they can make actions as well, which is understandable. But with the way that it's gone about, for many people, that doesn't feel applicable, because she seems to have only pressed charges after her second video. At least that is how things are being presented at this moment in time. Hence the reason why so many people are now, I don't want to say so many people, hence the reason why there are people now coming forward and changing their mind about how they feel, and this is why people are now coming up with questions and saying something doesn't sit right. This is why people are saying, I don't know why this is still a thing on the internet. Why are the authorities not being involved? Or if they are being involved, why is this thing still being spoken about on the internet? So we've got to a stage now where I can only imagine people want May to go back to Canada. And not only did they wanted to go back to Canada, but they wanted to file the report in Canada, because her doing it in the USA doesn't mean anything, because the alleged crimes happened in Canada. So at this moment in time, I do believe that if May was to make another video trying to, I don't want to use the word justify or use the word explain, but if she makes another video talking about the alleged crime, I can only imagine a lot of people are going to be like, well, okay, hold on a minute. We're seeing videos, but we're not really hearing much about you going to the authorities. But this is the key though. Nobody needs to hear, and nobody wants to hear. What needs to happen is that she needs to go to the authorities and get this stuff sorted out privately. And that is fine. We don't need to know the rest, because at the end of the day, this is a personal matter to May. It is not an internet matter. Now, based on the comments that I've read to you guys and some of the things that I've also read privately, one thing that I am going to say as well, and this is where I play devil's advocate, and I've got to make it abundantly freaking clear. We live in a world, for the longest of time, we've lived in a world where so many women, and even boys at the same time, get taken advantage of. And then when they get taken advantage of, there are so many out there who are scared to report the alleged crimes. To report, the crimes that have been committed towards them. And one of the reasons why they're scared of that is because they are scared that they will not be believed, amongst other reasons. And one of the reasons why so many women and boys are scared to tell the authorities that something has happened to them is because in the years that we've lived, there's been women who have lied about these type of situations that should never be lied about. And what happens is when those women then get caught out, it ruins credibility for other women. So we do live in a society, and it's something that we have to recognize, because so many people have been triggered by this topic, because some people have been in this situation. Some people have known people who've been in this situation, myself included. I've known people. So a lot of people have been triggered by the situation itself, in particular here, by the alleged crimes. Based on that it happened. It's an alleged crime. But at the same time, other people maybe have been or will be triggered if the alleged crimes are not true and May is not telling the truth, because there are so many people in this world that fear reporting these type of crimes to the authorities, because they are afraid to not be believed because of people that lie. I'm hoping this is the last time that I make a video about it personally, but you never know when you live in this. Well, you never know when you live in the world of Chantel, shall I say. Something always has to give at some point. But I'm really hoping this is the last time that I speak about it. But rest assured, when Chantel decides to come back from wherever she's hiding from with Nadir, depending on what she says, she will be held accountable. Everyone needs to hold her accountable too. Same as Nadir. And when I say accountable, and when I say hold them accountable, what I mean is, even if what May is saying is not true, they still need to be held accountable for so many other things. This does not change a thing when it comes to Nadir and Chantel. These two are still disgusting human beings. They are still monsters. Because the matter of the fact is, despite the fact that Nadir may have not committed these alleged crimes, it doesn't change the fact that he's still out here being a predator. He's still out here trying to numerously call so many different women. It's disgusting. But that doesn't change. And Fruity Beauty's behavior doesn't change. So I'm still looking at them exactly the same way. I hope everything that I've said has made sense. And I hope you understand that it's very important that I play devil's advocate, because at the end of the day, if more and more people are now making certain comments that are against May, well, then I've got to make it abundantly clear that if the people who are against May do end up being correct, which we may never know, well, the matter of the fact is May has literally just done something that is not nice. And that is that one thing that stops so many women and boys out here reporting these crimes. They're afraid to not be believed, amongst other reasons. I'll leave it there. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you guys in the comment section. Respectfully.